the law of mind action, the thought that shapes reality. Friends, let me say it straight. You don't need a miracle. You need to realize this. Your life isn't happening to you. It's being repeated through you. And what keeps repeating it? The thought you keep thinking. The one you didn't even know you gave permission to. The one you didn't choose, but you've practiced. One that's been looping in the background of your life so long, so quietly, it started calling itself you. You've been praying for change. You've been begging for peace. You've been chanting, fasting, meditating, trying to shift your life. But the law of mind action, it doesn't follow emotion. It doesn't follow drama. It doesn't follow prayer. It says thoughts held in mind produce after their kind. That's not a quote. It's a creative law. And if you don't confront the thought that you've been living under, you'll keep decorating your prison and calling it a palace, calling it progress, calling it truth, and wondering why nothing changes. But let's be honest. You didn't inherit your struggle. You didn't inherit your pain. You kept thinking it. So let me tell you something no one else will. You don't experience life as it is. You experience life as you think it is. And if you keep holding the same thought, you'll keep living the same life. This law, it says thoughts shape your reality. Not sometimes, not when you're being spiritual, not when you're in the mood, all the time. This law isn't trying to judge you. It's just showing you what you've been thinking. Your relationships, thought. Your money habits, thought. Your body's stress, thought. Your self-worth, thought. Your age, thought. But you don't have a money problem. You have a thought that keeps saying there's never enough. You don't have a love problem. It's a thought whispering, I am too much or I am not enough. You don't have a healing problem. It's a thought that keeps repeating, this is what the doctor diagnosed. You don't have an aging problem. It's a thought that echoes, this is just how it is. And here's how it happens, because this is how it traps us. You think it, you feel it, you believe it, you expect it, you experience it, you become it, and then you think it again. You think it, you feel it, you believe it, you expect it, you experience it, you become it, and then you think it again. That's not life. That's a cycle, what we call the mirror loop. And the law doesn't break it for you. It mirrors it until you do. And let's say it plainly. You're not stuck because of your condition. You're stuck because of your thought about your condition. That's the trap. Because the law obeys your dominant thought. It's not waiting for a better world. It's waiting for a better thought. And here's where it gets real. Some of us have gotten so used to the loop, we've spiritualized it. We've called it timing. We've called it God's will. We've called it divine order. We've called it the devil. We've called it chemicalization. We've called it personality. We've called it trauma. But all along, it wasn't your job. It wasn't your ex. It wasn't your childhood. It's not your age. It's been thought. And let's tell the truth. Some of us have been living inside of the thought so long, and we never meant to keep it. A thought someone gave us. A thought that we've just been traveling with. A thought we picked up in our pain. A thought that felt small but grew loud. And now it's shaping our life like it's a scripture. We didn't question it. We obeyed it. We didn't notice it. We normalized it. We kept repeating it until it became a loop called me. But you have the power within you to interrupt it. You can stop mid-thought and ask, is this still true for me? That question, that's the crack in the mirror. That's the end of the lie. That's the first new thought. Let me show you what I mean. There was a man, kind, quiet, always kept to himself. 15 years ago or so, something happened that changed everything. A decision, a diagnosis, a betrayal. It doesn't matter what it was anymore. What mattered is the thought he took with him. This must be what I deserve. He didn't say it out loud, but he lived by it. He wore it. He built a life to match it. One day, years after carrying that quiet agreement, he sat in his car alone after a hard conversation and whispered something simple. What if that's not true anymore? That's it. Not an affirmation, not a declaration, just a crack. And that crack let in light. And that light began to unravel the loop. This is how it works. The law can't interrupt you. Only a new thought can do that. And the moment you hold a new thought, even for a second, the mirror stops repeating your past and starts building something else. That's the power you've been looking for. Not in the world, not in the future, in the next thought you allow. Because you don't break the loop with your effort, you break it with your truth. And the truth starts when you realize, when you come into one real question, what thought am I obeying that no longer deserves my agreement? What thought am I obeying that no longer deserves my agreement? But let me take you to a moment where most people misunderstand. It can be found in the book of Matthew, chapter 9. They call it a miracle. But what we're about to witness is spiritual mechanics. A woman diagnosed with a blood issue. 12 years of despair, pain, shame, isolation, and exhaustion. She'd seen doctors, spent money, lost hope. But this story isn't about her condition. It's about the thought she held in spite of it. She said within herself, if I but touch the hem of his garment, I shall be made whole. That wasn't wishing. That wasn't begging. It was a clear, constructed thought. She didn't say, maybe it'll work. She didn't say, if it's God's will. She didn't say, I wonder if he'll notice me. No, she built the thought. She held the thought. And the universe moved, the law moved in response. She didn't just touch Jesus, she touched the law. She didn't reach for a man, she reached for a truth she'd already claimed. Because the law of mind action, it doesn't respond to crisis. It responds to consciousness. It mirrors the clearest, deepest thoughts you hold. And here's what Jesus didn't say. He didn't say, you're healed because I chose you. He said, as you have believed, so it is. Translation, as you've been thinking, it becomes real. You see, the power wasn't in his robe. The power was in her thought. And watch this. The crowd saw her crawling to get to Jesus, but spirit saw her constructing. While others saw desperation, she was building a new blueprint in real time. That's the law in motion, not a miracle, but a woman who understood the law better than the people preaching it. Because the moment her thought became bigger than her condition, the loop broke, the pattern cracked, and wholeness revealed itself. And look, this isn't just a Bible story. It's the model. It's the proof. The question is, what thought are you holding that has the power to move everything? Because the woman didn't just think it, she moved with it. She reached through the noise. She pushed past the people that disqualified her. She said no to the diagnosis. She broke the rule to reveal the law. And the moment her thought became movement, the law responded. So the real question is, what are you thinking but haven't been moving on? What are you clinging? What are you claiming while holding back? Because like the woman, if she could touch wholeness from the ground while crawling, what could you shift with a thought? What could you shift if you're standing in your truth? What could you shift if you trusted the Christ in you? Friends, it's your move. What are you thinking? Because by now you know your life doesn't shift when the world changes. It shifts when your thinking changes. And the law, it isn't waiting on God's mood. It isn't waiting on better timing. It isn't even waiting on your effort. It's waiting on your next thought. So hear this. The thought that built the loop cannot build the life. The thought that served your survival cannot serve your becoming. You've seen the pattern. You've interrupted the lie. You've witnessed the blueprint. Now choose the thought that's daring to rise and hold it. Hold the thought that says, this ends with me. Hold the thought that says, the world isn't moving for me, I am moving in the world. Hold the thought that says, wholeness isn't coming, it's already here. Hold the thought that says, I'm not lacking, I am the source expressing. The thought that says, I am not love, I am love. I'm not chasing light, I am the light. The thought that doesn't repeat your past but reveals your power. The thought that says, the woman did it, so can I. Because this isn't theory, this isn't inspiration, this is the law of mind action, and it is active in you, as you, and through you right now. So think it, hold it, be it, and let the world obey it. Because real change happens when you realize I am the thinker that thinks the thoughts that shape my life. I believe you can. Are you willing to do this with me today? Yes. Are you willing to do this with me today? Yes. Thank you all, and God bless you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, we believe it now, right? Do we vow to believe it tomorrow? How about Tuesday? Can I check with you on Wednesday? I think we have to go to that YouTube channel and just press liked or save and then maybe check back on Thursday, make sure. Thank you so much, Rev. That was super, very powerful. Meg Bynum's ready. The Peter Pralsar Quartet is ready. Let's hear them again. Thank you.
very sure, and there's no time for fussing and fighting, my friends. I have always thought that it's a crime, so I will ask you once again. Ow! Come on, it's okay to clap. Try to see it my way. Do I keep on talking till I really can't go on? Try to see it your way. Run the risk of knowing that our love will soon be gone. We can work it out. We can work it out. What you saying? You can get it wrong and then you still think that you're right. Hear what I'm saying? We can work it out, and when it's straight we'll say goodnight. We can work it out. We can work it out. Life is very short, and there's no time for fussing and fighting, my friends. I have always thought that it's a crime, dirty, dirty crime. So I will ask you once again. Try to see it my way. Only time will tell if I am right or I am wrong. Try to see it your way. You're gonna risk it, we can fall apart and go. We can work it out. We can work it out, yeah. We can work it out. Come on, let you work it out. We can work it out. Play that thing, man. Play that thing. Work it out. We can work it out. We can work it out. Wow! I think we kind of worked it out. Thank you for helping us work it out.
Maggie Bynum, everyone, the Peter Pozak Quartet. Oh my God. She is on fire, right? Let's give her another hand, everyone. So we've come to that time in the service where we open our hearts to give, and this is a time where we show up with the thought of love so that we may continue to receive love. So I'm going to ask you to take out your offering, your gift, your tithe, put it in your hand and send energy from your heart into that gift, because anything we give our love to increases. And if you're joining us online, get into this display of prosperity, this giving and season, this giving and receiving season, so that you may reap the harvest. And now, when you're ready, we will say our offertory blessing together with energy. Yes. Are you ready? Yes. Divine love, richly flowing through me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am grateful for the blessings of this day. I am grateful for the blessings on the way, and so it is.